Welcome back everyone, it's Mark with ExoticCar PlayPlace. Today I want to explain to you guys, in 13 years of this car's life, this 2006 E60 M5 with the S85 motor, how many things actually went wrong on this car. We talk about all the time, all the things that can go wrong in these M5s. What can go wrong? Everybody talks about the bearings and the throttle actuators and the Vanos systems and countless other failures. Now I'm knocking on wood, everybody, and I really hope that I'm not jinxing myself. However, I'm going to share with you guys, in the 13 years of life of this car, what are the things that died. And I'm not talking about maintenance and oil changes and oil service and air filters. Things that needed replacement from factory because they broke. Let's talk about the top 5 things and shed some light on it for you guys. So the first thing that went, I'll mention to you guys, throttle actuators. Yes, I had the dreaded throttle actuator, the gear, the red cog of death. I had that happen on this car. I saw the cog, it went into limp mode, everything went blank, not blank, but the red line dropped right down, and effectively the car was yielded kind of dumb. It wouldn't go very far, very fast, and it was pointless. I had that failure. That was one of the failures. In the 13 years, I had one of the throttle actuator failures on this car. But it's buried below the intake plenums here on these wonderful V10 engine, of course. But they're buried in underneath here, so it takes a lot of parts to be removed here before you even get access to those throttle actuators. And that becomes a bit more of a job, and that's where a lot of the cost goes, is in the labor. Also, here's one that's a little bit less. So the second thing that broke on this car, I shouldn't say second, but 2 of these, windshields. That can happen on any car, of course. This car is only summer driven, but they're not cheap windshields because they have the rain sensing in them. But at the end of the day, 2 windshields I've replaced on this car. Another thing that went, and we'll get to the good stuff here shortly. The third thing that went, 2 sets of rear tires. Hey, it's an M5. They tend to go. On the M5, it's not difficult to smoke up these rear tires. So rear tires, I've put 2 sets of rear tires. Well, between myself and the previous owner, we've put 2 new replacement sets of tires on this car. And so the factory wheels were basically switched out twice because of due to wear. We had the Continentals, which are a decent tire for sure, but we switched them over to the Michelin Pilot Super Sports, which I find a lot better grip than the Continentals that were stock in these cars. So another thing that went, this one's a little bit different. The positive battery cable, there was an issue with that and it needed resolution. So the positive battery cable, there was a problem with that, and I believe it was from factory. So the positive battery cable, as well as the cover, was inspected for damage, but the cable itself was replaced. So the fourth thing that failed on this car was the passenger side mirror, the heated mirror element. So kind of a weird, odd kind of thing to fail, but you know, that happens from time to time. You get those weird ones. This car is very, very technical. There's a lot of electronics happening here, as well as just power electrical equipment. And the mirror on the passenger side as well failed on this car for me. So that needed a full replacement. Passenger side mirror, at least fortunately, they were able to just remove the glass. The glass part of this was coming out, but they didn't have to actually remove the entire mirror. So, you know, it didn't really disturb any seals or any kind of issues like that. It, you know, basically just took care of the heated element within the mirror. So the fifth thing that went on this car was a bulletin. It was based on a factory bulletin from BMW, a reprogramming of the DME for the S85 US version spec car. Was the DME needed a reprogram. So that's all I have to report, guys. In the 13 years, that's all that's really gone on this car. Now again, knock on wood, and I know the car's getting older. It currently has 53,000 kilometers on it, but it is 13 years of age. And I would expect things to start going on it, like anything with age. We all get older and things start breaking down. This car would be no different. However, thus far in 13 years, that's all I have to report for failures, actual outright component failures on this car. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. Quick summary shows how reliable these cars really can be. They're not always dogs like a lot of people make them out to be. They're actually relatively reliable machines. You know, you treat them well, you maintain them properly, and you can actually have yourself a high performance car that runs very reliably for years to come. So everyone, thanks again. Make sure you subscribe, hit that subscribe below. Don't forget to share the video, as well as give me a comment and a thumbs up, and we'll be talking to you on the next one. Thanks again, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.